The birth of Agile. So let's look at some of the revolutions that have changed the way we work. And in my view, it really starts with the age of mechanical production using steam. Steam was the power, that was the one that was driving it. And with steam, we could suddenly start to produce things in a way that we couldn't do before. We had an engine, a steam engine that could start automate things for us. This was followed by the age of science. We were getting more into innovations as well as mass production. We had gasoline and airplanes introduced. And this is actually the revolution where we also introduced the first modern project management tool. This revolution area was followed by the area of digital, in digital technology, use of computers. So digital, we start now to have technology. We had a lot of all the computer evolution, and it was still very much interacting with a human and a computer. But that changes now because now we are in the stage where we are looking at fusion of the physical, digital, and biological technologies together. And it's all fueled by robotics and AI. We want machines to start become smarter, and we are really now taking a leap that we haven't taken in any of the other revolutions. These four revolutions all have different projects. In the first, you'll be building a steam engine or locomotive. Then you will start to find production methods, mass production, digital computers, and make their devices smarter and smaller, etc. And now we are in the fusion of all the different technologies together. So different revolutions, different projects, and more important, different projects have different challenges. So let's try and look at some of these challenges. In industrial projects, the core is that the work is visible and the work is quite stable. I'm producing a physical thing. And it's more about the decision and the answers. It's very much a command and control structure. And it's all focusing on quantity, the mass production part, in the same quality. So repeating something again and again. That's industrial projects. As I move through the revolutions and I get into more knowledge-driven projects, the challenges changes. Now work starts to become invisible. There's a rapid number of changes. There's emphasis on changing things. There's less structure. People starts to become more self-empowered, self-driven, and it's more focusing on asking the right questions, understanding the task, give autonomy to the teams, and more important, continuously innovate. So where we wanted to have mass production, meaning making a lot of the same things, focusing on quantity in the industrial project area, now we have in knowledge projects, we have more focus on the quality, the innovation part. And it is continuously to learn and teach, whereas the industrial projects is more measuring against the standards. We need to mass produce at the same standard. So as you can see, we have a shift in the challenges from industrial projects to knowledge projects. And why is that important? That is important because this is really where the birth of Agile comes in. So Agile is not a new thing. It started long time ago. And it started by in Japan, Takuchi and Nonaka started to look at how can we have product development done in a new way. And as we evolve, there's a number of different papers, research, publication about how can we adapt the way we work. Remember, we had the first modern project management methodology and framework was already invented a long time ago, but now we start looking at how can we work smarter. And again, it's driven by those changes, those innovations. How can we work smarter to drive that? So there is a different things being invented. The stand up. There is agile software development with Scrum that's published with another set of accredited people. As we move into 2001, that is where the really first leap is. This is where the Agile Manifesto is created by a set of software engineers in a offsite workshop, and they come up with the Agile Manifesto, which is the 4 values and the 12 principles, and which is really framing and shaping what we consider Agile from this point onwards. Now, things starts to keep evolving. Scrum, which was in its early stages in 95, there's now formed different alliances. One is scrumalliance.org, and they start to really drive and work around maturing Scrum. 2009, Lean and Kanban Startup is introduced, and another key big leap is in when we get to 2010, where Scrum.org really is founded and started. But it all leads to 2013, where really now we see that people have started embracing these new ways of working, and it's driven by startup companies, companies that has rapid growth, and so startup like Spotify, Amazon, etc., or companies that has large growth and needs to now start to innovate to stay alive. And this is really where we see that now it starts to become a common term. It starts to be embraced. And there's different flavors of Agile, but I would say it all comes from the Agile Manifesto in 2001. That is the cornerstone. And we have put a number of companies here. They are all well known brands. They have all adapted form, shape, and forms of Agile. And I would say in 2013, 40% of all organizations globally is going agile using Scrum. But I would say today probably it's even higher, and people are trying to apply it in all different contexts. So this is how Agile came to life. The Agile Manifesto is really where it took off, and it has become a household name from, I would say, 2013 and onwards.